Hello guys, how you doing? Now, here's the thing. Light's not good. It's in my shop right now, and it's kind of dark in here. It's pretty dark. This phone's got really good pickup, actually, to tell you the truth. To pick up as much light in here as it does, it's doing good. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about tonight is, right here, right now, is I've entered into a waiting phase. Up until this point, I haven't been really waiting. Now, it's just, I can't tell you what's changed. Everything has changed. I don't know. Looking back in retrospect right now, from where I'm sitting right now, talking to you guys, things are different. Going back maybe a year ago, or a year and a half ago, I felt like there was something coming, pending something, and some sort of a black swan event would trigger this thing and get it going. And I felt it was in our future, it was imminent, it was coming. But things have changed now. Now the thing is actually starting to happen. We're seeing the trends that's developing that is the consequences of the actions of the Federal Reserve. We're seeing those consequences now. And the black swan is the consequences is coming together. It's creating the black swan event. I think that the trends that we're seeing develop right now are the trends, the causes of this crisis that's coming. And the way the trends are developing, it's starting to look like the United States is going to experience some sort of a deflationary event, what they call a recession, but it's going to be more like a depression. It's going to probably be worse than what we experienced in 2008. In fact, it's probably going to make that look like a cakewalk because there's so much leverage in the system, in the financial system. This leverage is in the form of liquidity that's went through, and it's been replaced with tons and tons of millions and millions and millions and billions and trillions and almost said zillions of money that's in these derivatives products that can all start popping off and melting down. We got tremendous amount of energy in the financial system right now. And this is all it's all gonna end in some sort of a giant, in the United States, some sort of a giant meltdown of the economy that involves like pricing everything on a mark-to-market basis, as far as when people have to sell things like commodities, whatever. It's going to be like nothing we've ever experienced before, like a margin call that goes out through everything. So ultimately, that's going to make the dollar go up. And the dollar, of course, being the best of all the fiat currencies. It's proven itself to be the best. I mean, for a safe haven fiat currency, if you're kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, they're all bad. None of them are any good. But when all the other ones, the yuan and the euro, and they all start to go down, this makes the dollar go up, even though the dollar is a sack of shit. Simply put, So anyway, this crisis is going to unfold. We can't stop it, and we're getting so close that I've entered into my last phase waiting period. I'm kind of running my channel. I'm kind of each day giving basically a view of what's happening in at that particular time in the unfolding financial collapse. And so I'm kind of waiting for it to actually come. And this is why I really set my channel up as Financial Turmoil Explained. I want to be able to explain it to them when it happens. I want to say, hey guys, you guys are just waking up. You're new to all of this. Like you guys are watching me now. You guys are not going to be taken by surprise by all this. You see it coming like I do. And I'll tell you honestly what I feel like. I've waited for hurricanes to hit before. They're coming at you. A hurricane, right? And you've done everything you've needed to do to prepare. You got candles, you got everything. And then finally you sit back and you say, okay, I'm just going to sit down and wait for her to hit. That's the way with this. That's the way I feel right now about this financial crisis that's actually coming up. I feel like, okay, I've got everything prepared pretty much best I can. You know? And during this initial phase, the first side of the hurricane that's coming through, financial hurricane, the winds are going to blow in one direction. Okay? That direction they're going to blow in, it's going to be like the deflation side of it. Then we're going to go through a little bit of an eye, and then we're going to go into the other side where the winds are going to completely change direction from the opposite direction. So first what's going to happen is the dollar's going to be going up. Everybody is going to be selling everything, trying to get into dollars, crashing everything to get into dollars. And then when we reverse and we go to the other side of that, the dollar's going to be just going down to the toilet, and all of the things that they sold to get into dollars are going to want to buy back. It's going to be, I got to give kudos to Mike Maloney. He called this thing way back, you know. He even called the rise in the price of oil and the fall in the price of oil. He called that too. He called the oil prices way back when. It's got pictures of him on tape. And why is because he's really good. He's awfully good at charts and stuff. He's good at that. He really is. He's a good chart analyst. And he's good at digging through, and he's pretty good economist. I really like Peter Schiff. He's excellent too, you know. And I think I remember one debate where Peter Schiff was on with Mike Maloney. It was a pretty good debate. I remember one debate though where it was it Peter Schiff and the other guy debating him was Harry Dent. And it was an inflation or deflation debate. And Harry Dent was on the side of deflation, of course. And I think it was Peter Schiff, and he was on the side of inflation. And they both made good arguments. But I think it was Peter Schiff. Was it Peter Schiff? I can't remember. I think it was. Anyway, who said about the inflation. He said that the Fed is going to continue to print and print and print and print and print until the dollar's worth nothing. And Harry kind of argued that no, that they would never print that much. That they can't. They just can't. He'd say they'd have to print like, I forget what he said, like 20 trillion, I mean. And he said they'd never print that. Well, I got news for you. They will. They'll print as much as they need to print to get out of trouble when they get in trouble. They're not in trouble right now. Right now, they're kind of almost, seems like they're getting away with it. But what they're doing is, it's like that old game that people play. There's a game people play called Jenga. It's got these little wooden blocks, and you build a tower, and then you pull the blocks out, and you can pull as many blocks out as you can before the tower falls down. This is like a game of Jenga that the Fed's playing. They're seeing how every time a month goes by, it's like they're pulling the block out from this tower. And the tower's staying up, so nobody's noticing. Really, it's not really staying up, but we're seeing the beginnings of the crumblings of this tower. And they're keeping at it. They're not going to stop. They're playing this game of Jenga until the tower comes down. When the tower comes down, yes, they will print the money that they don't actually print it, but they will create the money that they need to create to get this system back up and running. And this time it's going to take at least double, maybe 4 times the amount of money that quantitative easing took before. That's not going to work. $80 billion a month is not going to work. This time they're going to have to make at least $200 billion a month to pull this thing out of the hole. And it's just basically kicking the can down the road because the debt's going straight up. It's going to go higher and higher. And at a certain point, confidence is going to be lost because they've created so much money. And interest rates is going to be higher. That's going to help fuel the fire. That's liquid gasoline on the well, gasoline is liquid. All gasoline's liquid. Anyway, that's gasoline on the flames of the situation. And it's going to end in ultimately in a hyperinflation that finally makes its way to the core. I can see now that in a way the inflation doesn't strike the core first. It strikes the outer. It's kind of like a person that's freezing to death, and he falls in the icy cold water, and his limbs start to actually freeze first before the core of his body, And this is the way that the United States being the core, and these periphery countries being the emerging markets are taking the heat first. They're going to go into the hyperinflation first, and then it's going to slowly make its way back to the core. And when the core goes down, that's when the real big trouble's going to start. That's when we're going to have situations that are out of control. Is when it finally gets back to the core. But it can move fairly quickly once things get entirely out of control. So anyway, talked long enough. We're going to see you guys on Monday with the market reports. I'm going to try to get a show in this weekend, some sort of a show in this weekend, of one kind or another, try to make it interesting. Maybe I'll do part 2 of that series I got going about the silver or whatnot and how this crisis is coming. Anyway, it's not going to really get exciting, until this crisis really gets going, and then people are going to be really tuning in to my channel to find out what the heck's going on. They're going to be like, where did this come from? Right now, they're tuning into YouTube. Yeah, they're watching epic fails, watching people fall off BMX bicycles on their face and stuff like that, And they're watching the Booty Channel or whatever. I don't know. They're out there right now, watching these other things. They're not interested in finance. Finance is like watching grass grow. Until finance kicks up some trouble, some serious trouble, and they're going to lose their job, then all of a sudden they're going to want to know, hey, what in the heck happened? They're probably going to blame it on Trump. Can blame everything on Trump. Honest to God. He's probably going to take the heat for the whole situation. He's owned this stock market. He's come in here and he said, this, look at how good the stock market's doing. It's me, I did it. So he owns it. When it goes down, is he still going to own it? He's going to take the blame for it, of course. Anyway, catch you guys Monday in the first market report. If you haven't subbed already, head over to my other channel, the Delta Report. It's if you're interested in cryptocurrency specific, really that channel, that's where I'm carrying all my cryptocurrency stuff, talking about Bitcoin and all these coins, Litecoins, and when to buy them and where I think the prices are going to go in the immediate future, and how are trends going to affect the price of Bitcoin and stuff. Okay, I keep rambling on. I keep trying to stop it. I keep going. Okay, bye-bye, guys.